hang in there. That's another tip I have for you, is hang in there. Because there are sometimes where we feel like we're hitting a plateau, but life operates on a delay system. You work hard all fall, all autumn, and it feels like you're not getting anywhere, but those results might come to you in the spring, right? Sometimes you're at a kind of a work plateau where maybe you aren't working that hard, and we all go through that sometimes, but sometimes you're just at a results plateau. Just hang in there, keep going, do what you're doing, because if you're not in a funk, you're gonna come out of it on the other side. What did Winston Churchill say? An Indian quoting Winston Churchill, not maybe a good look, but I love his quote where he goes, if you're going through hell, keep going, right? What choice do you have? If you're going through hell, keep going, because sometimes life is like a spring, you're getting pushed down and pushed down and pushed down, but you're gonna pop up. You're gonna convert that, potential energy to kinetic energy. Reduce miscommunication. I made a number of changes to my style, and this has saved me a lot of frustration. One of them is to find out if your manager or your audience, do they like to read first or listen first? This is a big one, because sometimes people like to read first. They want an email in their inbox, they want to go through all the charts and the attachments, and then they want a meeting. Other people are completely other way around. They're like, no, don't talk to me in the hallway, okay? Go ahead and, they want to be cornered in the hallway. Some people do, and some people want it the other way around. And that miscommunication happens all the time. They're like, well, I wish you would have just talked to me about it first without sending me all of this stuff. And some people like it the other way around. So I think that's a really, really important thing to keep in mind. Closing the loop with people is really, really effective. A lot of time people will introduce me to people. It happens a lot in entertainment, but it happened a lot in engineering too, where I wanted a mentor, or I wanted some advice from somebody. Go back and close the loop with the person who made the introduction. People don't do that a lot of the time. Like, oh, what happened with that thing? Did that happen? And if you go back and you say, hey, thanks, I ended up meeting with David and we had a great conversation, that will go a long way to relationship building. I'm not going to play this clip because it's been seen 26 million times on YouTube. You've probably seen it. If not, maybe you've heard of it. You can YouTube it. It's called It's Not About the Nail. And it is a great conversation between a man and a woman about whether she wants him to solve her problems or not. But one of my managers at the Page had a great philosophy. So when I sat down with him, he had all these rules for engagement of how to work with him and for him. And he goes, well, you work for me, so I can wear 3 hats. He goes, when you come to my office, I'm your boss. I have an evaluator hat on. So when you bring a memo to me and you present it to me, I'm evaluating you. That is my job. I am your boss, okay? You could fix that. I can wear another hat. It's called sounding board. All you had to do when you came in here was write draft at the top of it. And I will be a sounding board for you. I will help you craft this memo, we'll go back and forth. I may still be evaluating you because I'm your boss, but at the same time, you've lowered the expectation because you haven't presented it as a formal, finished document. Because the third hat I wear is called Venter. You want to come in here, it's a Friday afternoon, and you just want to put your feet on my desk, put your hands behind your head, and talk about how much this place sucks. I'm down. I'm down to do that with you. If you want to just vent and get it off your chest, but you got to tell me that's what you're doing. And it works in personal relationships too. I've done this with my wife. It works. I mean, I can't wear a evaluator hat. She made that very clear. She goes, no evaluator hat. You don't get to wear that one, okay? But she goes, this is really helpful sometimes, where I go, I just wanted you to listen, right? People say that all the time. All I wanted was, sometimes you just want someone to put their arm around you and go, that really sucks. I'm sorry you're going through that. That's all I needed. I didn't need you to try to fix it, okay? But other times, I do want your input. Well, tell me that then. Tell me that that's what you wanted. And I think that will avoid a lot of miscommunications and prevent a lot of divorces, I think. Okay, write down the ideal behaviors of each one. So this is step 3 in a 14-step process, and the steps get easier as we go. Write down the ideal behaviors of each one. So if you go, I'm a manager, right? What does an ideal manager do? What does an ideal daughter do? What does an ideal citizen do? Any of those things where you're going, okay, I define myself as a son. Okay, well, what does a good son do? Call, Zoom your mom, visit, send her gifts on her birthday, ask her how she's doing, An ideal manager, what does an ideal manager do? Provides great coaching, recommends trainings, provides constructive feedback, develops her people. You don't need to make the full list right now. It's just to get it started. And then step 4, I know I'm going a little quick, but I'll stop here in a minute. Step 4 is to convert any be statements to do statements. And Tim Ferriss talked about this, really important. The idea being here that instead of saying, I want to be a good chef, that's a good goal. Like, oh, I want to be a good chef. I want to be a good cook. but I will cook Thanksgiving dinner for 6 of my closest friends. He gives this great example because that's tangible. That is really tangible. I'm going to cook Thanksgiving dinner, or Diwali, or Eid, or whatever your thing is. I will cook Thanksgiving dinner for 6 of my closest friends. And this is where SMART goals come in. I'm not going to unpack SMART goals for this audience. I'm sure you know them, but I will tell you what they stand for. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound or tangible. I've heard it both ways. But that really helps to be very specific. You say, I'm going to cook Thanksgiving dinner for 6 of my friends. That is a SMART goal because it is very specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, not for me. It's realistic, not for me. But once you've done that, you try to pick the one that you think will make the most difference. So when I shared this with my 2-up manager at P&G once I left, Jerry Priest, I had a whole litany of these things. And he goes, my concern for you is you're so regimented and you're so rigid that you're gonna miss one day of doing all 20 of these things, the whole system's gonna crash down. So he goes, I want you to try to do all of these things, but pick one. Pick one. Same person who told me to get that 65 pages down to 1 page, pick one. He said, and I think I know what you know what it is. And I was like, yeah, I know what it is. It was meditate. I said, that's the one thing I absolutely want to do every day without fail. And I started with 3 minutes. It's hard. I don't know how many people by round of applause meditate? Okay. Only a few. Okay. Only a few. It's hard. It's very hard to sit there and do nothing. And you get down on yourself because you're running your to-do list and you have something stuck in your head and your mind is all over the place. It's so hard to center. But I think it's just even getting off your phone for 3 minutes and just sitting there is peaceful. It's helpful. And now I do 20 minutes and it goes like that, like just goes. And I have friends who do it for an hour or 2 hours. I don't have that kind of time, but well, I shouldn't say that. It's a choice I've made to not carve out an hour. I could do it probably, but I don't. So 20 minutes, that's what I said to Jerry Seinfeld, by the way, because I learned about transcendental meditation through him. He has a video about it online. He's been doing it for 30 or 40 years, Transcendental Meditation, TM. So it really came from India, but I learned it from this Jewish comedian. So go figure. But that was the one I picked that I thought would make the most difference. And you might know what it is too. You might be going, yeah, that's the thing I really should do, but I don't do. Another good one I learned at the Page was to write a monthly letter. That was the thing that I didn't do. The manager whom I was hard-lined into, he goes, you should write a monthly letter, and it just sounds so like 80s. Like, who writes a monthly letter to their management anymore? Because, but it will force you to do things that month and drive things to completion. And you could just start sending it to your boss. Just do it. Even if they don't ask for it, it will become a thing that you will make you. That's why I send out a monthly newsletter for Funny Indian. I've been doing it for 20 years. I haven't missed a month. Because it forces me to go, oh my gosh, I have thousands of people on this distribution and what am I gonna tell them? I didn't do anything. It's like, okay, well then you gotta get this thing out in 2 weeks. You better do something. Like put out a video or go do a show or do something that you can write something or make that possible. So that could drive all of your behavior. So you prioritize them.